Yeah, sorry about this, but I'm today's program, so you actually have to listen to me for like a whole 20 minutes. So I'm going to try to make it as painless as I can, but really what I'm going to say is, what I'm going to talk about the entire time is doing what matters. So the international theme for this year is lovely, and it's be the inspiration. And so in order to be the inspiration, our district has decided that we should do what matters. And doing what matters is what Rotary is about for us anyway. And what matters to our club is kind of apparent by what we do. And so instead of talking about specific little things, I want to talk about all of our committees, and I want to talk about all of the people in all of the committees. And so I'm going to kind of just jump into it. We've already started with some of them, but the membership committee. So if you're on the membership committee, please stand up. So we have the chairs for the membership committee, co-chairs. So one of them needs coffee, so we'll just let him go. And he's already actually told me today anyway that he's co-chairs with AJ, but he's kind of, fallen second to AJ because AJ has really stepped it up. Would you like to say anything about your committee? This isn't meant to be a committee update, it's just meant to talk about your committee.
I'm definitely being part of this committee.
Yes.
And stay in frame.
Yeah, I'm supposed to tell you, you have to stay from here. Is it here?
Oh,
That's too far.
That's too far.
But stay there.
If you come across this, if you come in front of this, I will hit you.
You can hit him back in a year. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. It all adds up. It has been a lot of fun. It's been great to introduce new members to the club. We've scheduled it so it's on an ongoing, if we have a prospective member, we've set it up so we have a meeting once a month, and then typically it'll be the third Thursday of the month, so that if we have a prospective member, we already have it on the calendar to be able to be available. So if any of you want to come meet a prospective member, I can include you in emails. But
Griffin, 6 p.m. typically, third Thursday.
And I appreciate that I've been able to get some members who've of the club, who've been with the club for a while, to add some long history to the club, because there's some new. I feel like there's so little for me to introduce, but I definitely appreciate Lori and Craig. And I guess for some of you out there, I'm going to look to try to invite you as well to some of our future meetings so that we can bring that additional depth.
The meetings are really interesting depending on who shows up. A couple of times when Craig comes, it's like, oh, this is an awesome history lesson. That member knows what's going on. So, but yeah, we'd love to have as much participation as we can, because remember, the membership committee is really all of you.
Well, and that's another part why I'm saying that this is a huge piece of doing what matters. Our club is growing. How many clubs are growing? Does anyone know the percentages? I actually don't, but I can tell you it's not very many. I've heard from many clubs that their clubs are shrinking or they've been stagnant for years. Our club is consistently growing, so thank you for what your committee does. And it's apparent that that's part of what's mattering for us. We have mentorship too. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. We have mentorship. So the beauty of mentorship is we got some feedback last week from Brandy about it. I can't even figure out what the word is to say, but we got the feedback about it. It's great to get those reviews, and I want to try to keep doing this week after week, so everybody's hearing about a committee. We'll hear about a committee every week. So if you have any little extra things you'd like to add.
Well, after the membership has talked to the prospective members and they're inducted, we kind of tag them along to get that engagement or whatever. And I talked about my rock star committee members, that we have a wealth of knowledge on our committee. We have past presidents, we have a past district governor, we have people who are fully engaged with the club and is very excited about Rotary and have taken leadership roles in a lot of the committees. So it brings a lot of
And how many people in this room have been a mentor? We have a few. Every one of you can be a mentor. And you're not going to necessarily have to commit to being a mentor, but you know things about this club. You know why you're here. You know what brought you here. So please join that committee. They'd love you. All right. The program committee. I love the fact that I have a chunk of the program committee here, and I would love you to say things about it because they actually gave me a day on the program committee. So I think they're fantastic.
Must have missed that meeting.
We were delighted to have you. Our job is to arrange the programs for the year, and we do this every half year. We meet before the half year begins, and in 1 hour, we have people, our members are filled with program ideas, and so we brainstorm it and we fill in the schedule. Pretty much fill in every space. We might leave 1 or 2 dates open for future opportunities, but we fill in that schedule, and then during the half year, when the week before the particular program is scheduled, we get in touch with our president, and also we have a committee member who's the contact person for that speaker, and the 3 of them then coordinate arranging the programs for you. I hope you agree the programs have been really good, and it's due to the wealth of knowledge of the members of our committee. You see Greg and Crystal and Karen and Carol Vandermeer, who's not here, and Cam, he's here, yes.
Yeah, he's hiding behind him.
And this year we were delighted that Crystal joined our committee and came in with new ideas that were great. And we very much welcome any of you who'd like to join our committee, come in with your program ideas and join the fun. Very efficient, just 2 meetings a year for an hour.
And mercifully, the last one was in the afternoon at Richard's Goat, rather than those morning meetings.
Wait,
Thank you for that.
You don't like our morning meetings?
I'm not a morning guy anyway, unless I love mornings, but I'm always coming in from the other side.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you guys in the committee. I was impressed by how efficient you guys were. I showed up to the meeting and the meeting was done. They came in, they said, what are we doing? Like that. So fantastic, and I love our program, so thank you. Recognitions. But do we have any? We do. We have one.
Well, and actually, I have to say, which I maybe shouldn't say, I had not thoroughly checked the committee list, and I thought, am I still on recognitions? And so the idea of the email is really to have people either tell, how we get to know each other is by sharing. And so, a few years ago, the recognitions committee did lots of research on one person and went through and we could do that again if we wanted to, but the part about that is coordinating the person to be here, and then some of you don't want that bunch of splash. And so the idea really is that we get to know you through your recognition. So we want to know about what you're doing, what your family's doing, whatever our success is in regards to it. And if we're going to try to think of different ways to motivate that, and we also want, if you know someone, to tell on them so that they, and they don't have to know you did it, because that's why we have that email that's there. So if you send something, we can make sure that we hear about all of those things and share in our successes and our happinesses, because that's how we also join as a club. So, so the more you want to participate, that's great, and we'll hear more about it. But also you'll be getting emails, and if they prod you to say something or to send something information, please do. And like I said, if you send it yourself, we don't say, oh, look, Joyce shared all this great information. It's, I heard about, and because, we know bits about your lives, and it's nice to get that continuity of what's going on, the good and the bad, if you want to share some of that too. Okay, thanks.
And there's an important piece to that. One of the biggest things that we all wanted when we did the firesides was fellowship. So that helps with our fellowship and our fellowship committee. So do we We have people on the fellowship committee. I know I'm missing a lot of them today. I won't even make you speak to it, but I will say what fellowship has done is we're trying to get the RISE events, we're getting the fellowship events. It seems like our club is doing a lot more together. So thank you for that. So continue your fantastic work.
Somehow I can hear Romy talking right now.
I know. It's really hard to be like, oh, the fellowship committee without Romy or Jessica here, because they're usually the two most vocal people in the room. Usually when they start talking, everybody kind of gives them some enthusiastic room. So we love their enthusiasm, so thank you for that. I'm going to look straight to Julie when I say the PR committee, because you are fantastic, and I know we have other PR members here, right? We have
on
Brett.
my committee, and Dick is on my committee, and Scott, who's not here, is on my committee. But even though he's not here, he still helps a lot. But our job is just to show the public how great we are. We really are a great club. We're getting better, actually, believe it or not. When other clubs aren't getting better, we're actually getting better. And it's more about just showing the public what we're doing and why they should support us and how community oriented we are. And it's just putting the positive vibes out there.
Right.
That's it.
Well, thank you. And every time you have an opportunity for PR, contact myself, contact Julie. We want to make sure that we're getting in the paper, that people see us, that we're visible. It doesn't matter what it is. If we have an excuse, let's use it. Like it just helps people become more aware of us. We are growing, so if we want to keep doing it, let's keep doing it. I'm not going to make Rachel say anything, but I'm just going to say that Rachel is the chair of community service, and we're going to actually hear a report from her in a few weeks. So, thank you. Anybody on community service? Community service?
We have a meeting next Thursday, 7 a.m., Country Store.
Perfect. I know Randy is here somewhere. Yeah, Randy.
She said Randy.
I actually meant Randy because I apparently slur, which is amazing because people think my name is Greg all the time. So
You wish.
yeah. Well, the problem is with Ray is, hey, I'm not talking to you. All right. So Greg would probably be a little better. But anyway, back to Randy. So,
did you say Randy or Brandy?
I've already forgotten what I was talking about. So
if you really want to get my attention, you can do like my mother said, Randall Joseph?
All right, Randall Joseph.
Financial, yes, financial assistance, the committee that never meets. We did once in Howard's year because he made us.
5 minutes.
And we all said, okay, all right. So financial assistance is a really great committee because we really can make a difference in the community. We dole out $7,000 to some incredibly worthy causes. We make a difference for a lot of things. So you can see I do a monthly report that goes to the board. So if you ever want to see where the funding is going, just check out the board minutes. But what we do is we get, and everybody here can be a part of that. If you see a need in the community, send me an email. And I try to condense them. So if you can send me long ones, but this is kind of the committee of busy people, so I try to condense it because sometimes I found over the years they don't always read everything we send them because they're really busy. So, but a nice, anything that just so that they can, a page that they can look and see how worthy the project is, how much they need, how it would make a difference. We tend to really want to see how it makes a difference. And then I send it out email, and then the members deliberate over email, and and I'm just kind of the moderator. And then once the committee approves the funding, I send it another email to our treasurer Brian, and he sends the check.
No more sending the check.
No more sending the check.
That's my PR opportunity.
Well, some of them are kind of we should talk because I really
Okay.
we have fallen short on PR, and there is a disconnect between because sometimes people need the money right away, so, but if we could, I'll talk to you.
If they want it that fast, I'll be happy to see a picture for it.
We'll hand deliver it.
We have the big rubber
we can
check
hand
that we
deliver
can
it,
use
yeah.
too.
We had the big fake
Yeah.
check.
Faster than.
You wanna give me money, I'll stand in front of a check all day.
Yeah, we used to do that. We used to kind of try to show up, and it was kind of hard. That's when you were the chair. We did that.
Yeah.
You had to herd. You were a better herder than I was.
Yeah, I've been here.
Well, I'm going to buy Julia a cattle prod, and I'm going to give her a picture of the front of your house.
Well, I
She'll
don't
show
want to be. We want the president. I don't want to be in those pictures.
Well, that's fine. You just have to give me the check. I'll stand there. I don't know.
Yeah, when you
You
can.
want photos of me? That's fine. I'll let you take them,
Okay.
but you know, it's one of those things. That's up to
That
you.
would be good.
You just gotta let me know.
Let's talk more about that. Perfect.
Excellent. See, now we're doing what matters.
The committee that never meets but only once.
President Ray, can I speak to that just for a moment?
Absolutely.
Okay, I think it's great that we get ourselves in the, oh no. Thank you. I think it's wonderful that we get ourselves in the paper and on YouTube occasionally. But what's important here is, and what makes a better picture than somebody handing a check is doing something with the group. If that's at all possible, if you can do something with the group. And I want to see hands, anybody who doesn't have a cell phone with them right now. You all have Cam. You all have the ability to take a picture at a moment's notice. Don't, if you're in a situation where you have to get the check to somebody, get the check to them, get a picture, try and get a picture of doing something, a Rotarian doing something with that group. If that's at all possible, that's a much more interesting picture. And speaking of not interesting pictures, let's go back to Rick.
I tried to help you. So, I'm not going to even talk about it. I'm just going to say the Rotary Foundation. I'm not going to mention it without Terry here because she might get mad at me. But I promise you, she'll get a chance to update you on Final Friday. So, World Community Service. Maggie and Tom, and how many members do we have here today? So, this is a little bit more. There's a big program piece that has to go to this. I think that your update is going to take 10 to 15 minutes. So we don't have to say anything today, but in the next few weeks, we're going to schedule an update so you guys can give some pictures and talk about the projects that you work on. And just get everybody more aware of what we're doing. So thank you for everything that you do, and we'll have an update from you soon. Let's see, transitional age youth. So, we do have a few, and this is an interesting committee, and there's a lot that you do, and I think that we need to definitely do a full program on this as well, because I know we have a lot of pictures, and if you would like to say something, we have a few moments, but
I would like to say that in the spirit of communication, we have set up our next team meeting for Wednesday, August 22nd at 5:30. Shoot me a message or a phone call if you would like some information about how to get where we're meeting. We're going to meet in McKinleyville. But we are looking to set up another kind of a transitional age youth support program. We've been working on one that did not come to fruition. But Sarah's been leading some efforts to help with some clothes closets, and of course we have our big, the big dinner we help provide, which actually this group here helps serve and provide, and we're going to be starting planning for that probably in another month and a half or so. So it takes a surprising amount of time to do good food, as well.
When will that date be approximately for the banquet?
It's almost always the first Thursday of December. We don't have a date yet, but that's just about always what it is.
And I have a question. Where will the committee meeting be?
We're going to meet at Co Central in McKinleyville.
Okay, thank you.
all right, well, thank you. I know it's your first meeting of the year, Rebecca.
Oh, not prepared.
But you don't have to be prepared because
No, I'm prepared.
You are prepared. You're prepared. Well, perfect. So we have youth activities.
Excellent, excellent. No, I'm actually really excited for this opportunity. I don't have too many people on my committee. I've got Brian, Sarah, Joyce for some essay contest. I don't even know what that is. It's on here. Deb and Nick is helping with AIBT. We do a lot of stuff, and we're actually really looking for committee members and really looking for people with new ideas. In particular, Brian has led the dictionary project for many, many years. If there's anybody who's interested in like, hey, I want to take on a project, but I don't want something that's overwhelming, that'll last the whole year, the dictionary project is like, it's a machine. Brian can hand it over, he can tell you what to do. So that's one thing that we're definitely looking for is people to take that over. Other activities that we do is we sponsor the cross-country run that happens here in Arcata. This will be like our 8th or 9th year. We've seen that event grow from about 100 runners to I think almost 300 runners last year, so that's pretty amazing with our support that's really helped build that up. We help do a little bit of help with the Arcata High basketball tournament that happens in December. We help both the women's and the men's tournaments now, which is really exciting having a woman basketball player in my family. We didn't do Kids, Crabs, and Rotary this year, but the committee talked about some ways to like revamp that, and I'd really like to see us do that. But I do need committee members, and so I'll send out something soon about setting up our first meeting. I have lots of meetings, is what I find, between Rotary and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and work and all that kind of stuff. But my main message is I do need some committee members. It's fun to get out there and do stuff with the kids. If you have youth ideas, I know you're not on my committee. You've got some really great ideas about Do What Matters and trying to make some impact in the lives of some high school kids. So that's my little spiel. Thanks for the opportunity. Are there any questions?
Okay. So an important part of this, the whole opportunity thing is, we've already all decided what we think matters. I mean, we speak to it with our committee chart, we can speak to it with everything that we're doing. So all of this matters, and the problem is we're not bringing a lot of light to it. We're not talking about our committees all the time. So we need to make sure that this starts happening. You know, we need to get some of this in, and doing it as a full meeting is a little more than we're going to ever do, probably again for my year at least. But I want to make sure that we're still getting these committee updates because we want everybody involved and we want everybody to be aware of what we have going on. So competitions and scholarships. I don't have Brian or Jeff here, but is anyone else on the committee?
So, actually, that's why Olivia's here. So we give scholarships to Arcata High School and the charter school. We give a $1,500 revolving scholarship for 4 years, and then we also we're supposed to only give 3 $1,000 scholarships. We always go back and ask for more, so we usually give a lot more than that. And then what else do? We do History Day. What else does that club do? History Day and
Ryla.
And Ryla. Oh yeah, and Ryla. Which she went to Ryla too. And so did Rachel, way back when. Anyway, that's all I know. I'm just on the... It what?
It was just a couple years
Just a couple years ago.
You know, I love derailment. It's one of my favorite things. All right, now I'm back on my track. So we have a few committees that I'm not going to end up mentioning today, and I apologize for that, but I will get back to them. I will make sure that we get them plugged in over the next couple of weeks, because I want to get to the youth exchange, because we've had a lot going on with youth exchange, and we had an outgoing student, or a returning student, an inbound student. We're going to have another student showing up on Monday, and who's on the committee? Anybody? Do we have a few? We have a few here. And I would love to get you to come up, if you could, Ian, and speak about what's going on with youth exchange.
Okay. Hardest working committee. Well, this morning, Julie actually gave me a boost. In support of these, this is a postcard from Izzy, who is back home in Austria, and I'm not going to read it right now because I'll cry. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
In front here. Cam and Craig, please stand up. So these two, when I was a bewildered young Rotarian, not really knowing what was going on, had this program going on that they were coordinating and working hard in, and under the theme of being the inspiration, Cam was my sponsor into this club, and both of them inspired me to get involved and walk down the journey I've taken for the last 6.5 years now. So thank you both for being there and masking with competence and liquidity of, the illusion of everything is going perfectly, because the reality is we're working with kids, not everything goes perfectly, but there's a larger purpose, and I appreciate you getting me involved in the first place, so thank you. Good. Who here has hosted a student? Please stand up. Awesome. Or will stay up, or will be hosting a student soon. Thank you all. Stay up, please. You know how important this is by direct experience. Who here has done something with an exchange student? A few more. Who's had a conversation with an exchange student that made a positive impact in their day? Okay, so the rest of y'all who are still sitting down, you're really missing out.
Blowing in.
Our current head committee, I'm your youth exchange officer for our club. Nick Torres is our new inbound counselor. He'll be responsible for, anybody name our new inbound coming in? I know you can, Andres. He's from Germany, good. Finn from Germany. He is super excited to be here on Monday. Hopefully everybody can come who's around the airport at about 5:30 on Monday. Get there about 5:15 and you won't miss the incoming flight in case it's somehow magically early. And then our outbound counselor, Claire, is not here today. We also have a great support team with continuation of Tammy and Cam, and Lori kind of floats around the background when something needs to be picked up. But the committee does work for 2 international Rotary service avenues, international service and youth services. We kind of bridge 2 main categories, all for the purpose of building peace in the world. I was reading my news this morning, and now we're looking at about 100,000 people displaced by the fires, right? That's a huge number. We can't put our hands or brains or hearts around that. We feel for it, but who knows somebody who lives in Santa Rosa or Mendocino or Redding? Any else? We all do, right? That's what makes it personal, and that's why we do youth exchange. You can read about Austria, but until you know Izzy and know a person from there, it's not as tight a human connection. So those connections that we build through our interactions with each other as individuals, and extending that into the youth of the world who have that potential to carry it forward throughout their whole life and understand that, well, boy, Brian's really cool and he's from that crazy place called California, and they actually get up in the morning and like each other. Those sorts of things have a lasting impact. I've seen it time again. Who here might be able to name out of our last 6, how about the 3 of our last 6 inbound students? Not counting Izzy, because she was just here. Anyone? I'll make it easier. I've got jewelry here for.
So Izzy, Sophia.
Izzy, Sophia.
Who?
Susanna too.
I only remember the ones I hosted.
You're missing one you hosted.
I can
Zara.
start.
One more, Julie. One more.
So okay, there's Izzy, Sophie, Mozara, Alex, Paul,
Judy.
She wins for trying. And you got all the ones. How about our outbounds? Obviously, we've got Travis going out right now. We've got one more piece of jewelry here.
Bella?
Isabella. She just gave a wonderful poem.
Trudy. The true love.
Okay, I need 2 from one person. Quick.
Christina.
Logan.
Okay, Steve right here. You got the most of it. Okay. So, who has?
Like your smiling face here too.
That's a bonus. You have to keep trying to do with that. Who here has questions about what this committee does? I mean, we, as a club committee, there's activities really throughout the year. I also serve on the district committee as the outbound officer for all the students in our district. But so I can't answer pretty much any question you may need. Yeah.
I don't have a question. Well, I kind of have a question. But we've got a lot of new members, as Ray said. Are we going to do another one of those massive group clearances like we did? Because
clearance, like a
well, we need to be whatever certified, cleared, whatever to spend time with an exchange student.
So vetting requirements have changed dramatically over the years. The youth department of state is really down every program's next, not just Rotaries. So there are basically 3 main levels of vetting. Ray's going through his vetting right now, or has finished.
I have not finished.
Not quite. He will this weekend, though.
Yes, I will actually.
So all presidents, all YEOs, all committee members are required to be fully vetted as one-on-one. I can go do whatever with a student and be the sole supervisor. There is a general invitation to the club to get what's called a YPA, or Youth Protection Awareness Certification. That serves for all youth services, not just youth exchange. So it's something that really all of us should do. I just talked to Ray yesterday about introducing that to the board as a red badge process to do the YPA. That allows you to be with the students with another person. So not one-on-one contact, but you could grab your spouse and go do something with the student, which is fantastic. We need that interaction with our students. And I see we're almost time, so I'll be quick about this. The other level of vetting is if you're going to host a student, they're going to be in your home living with you. That's a host family vetting, and Cam has been very helpful in making sure that as those proceeds that we do the required visits, and it's very straightforward now in terms of actually doing it. You tell us at what level you want to be involved, we'll send you the appropriate link, and you go through the steps as they come to you online. So it's very straightforward. The background checks are all done online using certain IDs rather than having to go in and do wet prints. So it's very simple. So if you wish to be involved with our students, let me or any other committee member know. We'll get you the information you need to move down that road. And we really appreciate you engaging with those students. And I think you'll find this incredibly rewarding to you and our whole community to understand each other. That's really the purpose of the program, is peace through mutual understanding. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, well, we did it at a club meeting one time.
It doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
how long does the vetting last? Is it just for the Rotary year?
The YPA is 2 years. The rest of them are for a year-long project.
We'll get you more information about that soon.
We have a need for one more family for this year?
Yes,
next year?
we have an opportunity for the December through March-ish time frame.
And then another hosting opportunity next year for 2019-20 for 3 families. So think about that and the benefits of it to your family and the world.
Thank you. And it's clear that I should probably give you more time another time because I've already kind of gone over. So I'm going to just zip through the rest of this. I have more committees, and I will be plugging them in over the next couple of weeks because I want to make sure that we get all of these because we have other programs.